Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami, Dutiyambi Buddham saranam gacchami, Dutiyambi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Dutiyambi Sangham saranam gacchami. Tatayambi Buddham saranam gacchami, Tatayambi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Tadayambi Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never be parted from the happiness beyond suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment to the near, and aversion from the far. I shall cause this. Great compassionate Buddha, please inspire me to be able to do so. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every types of offerings, actual and mentally transformed. I confess all of my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in all the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for all sentient beings. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. However innumerable all sentient beings are, I vow to save them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, I vow to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is, I vow to follow it completely. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Tayata ungate gate parasungate buddhi soha. Tayata ungate gate parasungate buddhi soha. Tayata ungate gate parasungate buddhi soha. So, hopefully everybody is doing well as can be expected within this samsara, within this conditioned existence, cyclic existence, where all of the relative things, all the conditioned things are impermanent, have the nature of being unsatisfactory, and have no self. But so often we have lived thinking, or maybe not thinking, but lived as everything is permanent, ongoing. They're chasing after happiness and believing in this self, the self of self, self of other, rather than understanding these 3 marks of cyclic existence: impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and no self. Anicca, or in Sanskrit, anitya, dukkha, and anatta, or in Sanskrit, anatman. Impermanence, suffering, no self. Okay, so now forget everything I just said, and we can do some meditation. So get yourself comfortable, and When you are ready, bring your mind inside your body. And from the bottom of the body to the top of the body, we will release the tension. Whatever tension may be there. The release from all around your feet. And your lower legs. And from around your knees. And also upper legs. All around your midsection. And up your upper torso. Initially the lower back and sides and abdomen. To the center of your back. And the upper back, chest area. The upper trap muscles that run between the neck and shoulders. And from your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, into the tips of your fingers. And from all around your neck. And from all around your head, including all parts of your face. And finally, from the crown of your head. And I briefly scan your body, again from the bottom to the top, to see if there's any leftover tension. And if there is, release it. Now bring your focus to the tip of your nose initially. And follow the feeling of the breath as we breathe in the nose all the way into the lungs. Then back out the nose again. So breathing in and breathing out. If any thoughts arise or mental activity happens, don't cling to it. Don't grasp at it. Don't try to force it away either or deny it. But simply and naturally let it go as you replace your mind back onto your breath. And if your mind starts to become dull, then wake it up a little bit by refocusing on your breath more brightly. You can also add the extra technique of counting the breaths from 1 up to 10. 1 in breath, 1 out breath is 1, and so on. And if you get distracted on the way towards 10, go back to 1 at that time. So let's practice like this in silence for a little bit. And feel pleased with ourselves for engaging in the practice. And fill ourselves with universal love and kindness, utilizing the visualization technique of filling your whole being with the white light, which represents universal love and kindness. Really have the feeling, be kind to yourself, be your best friend, respect yourself, appreciate yourself, and be grateful to yourself. Fill yourself with so much universal love and kindness that it now overflows and radiates outwards from your heart center and enters into the heart centers of your loved ones in front of you and fills them with universal love too. May they be happy and free from suffering. May they be peaceful. And now also include strangers. And also those you may regard as enemies. May these people be free from suffering. May they have happiness. May they be peaceful. And now we will include all sentient beings, initially around your immediate area, and we will increase the distance that we are sharing or radiating this universal loving kindness gradually. So to all sentient beings that live on the land, under the land, in the waters, may fly through the air. All sentient beings, whether they are born from wombs, eggs, moisture, or through transformation, may they all be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. And now radiate this universal loving kindness throughout your whole state or county. And all of the states and counties throughout your country. And all of the countries throughout the world, as well as all the oceans, down to the core of the earth, to the outermost atmosphere. And throughout the whole solar system. And the galaxy. And throughout the whole universe and beyond. Have your loving kindness pervade throughout infinite space, throughout the 10 directions, north, south, east, west, the in-between directions as well, and also zenith and nadir, or above and below, throughout infinite space. And we can also do the dedication prayer now. Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of the Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious body, Chitta, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. And may the precious view of Shunyata, not yet born, rise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. So we can continue to have the commentary on the article meditation and its benefits, getting to know your mind. I'm going to give a weather report again. It's quite warm. Apparently, it was only supposed to be low 20s here, but it feels a lot warmer than that in my little room. So my reading glasses are probably going to fog up again. It's not as warm as it was 2 weeks ago. That's for sure. It's Dharmacharya Andrew's weather report for the day. I'm not the expert. I'm not the weather acharya. That's for sure. So generally, I think we should meditate as much as possible, although not too little and not too much. If it's too little, our progress will be slow. If too much, then we might burn ourselves out a bit. Remember, the Buddha's path is known as the middle path. We should meditate at least once a day. Although may I suggest that you do a short meditation in the morning, maybe 10 to 20 minutes, and then another 20-minute session in the evening. Of course, you can meditate for as long as you want, or as short or as long as you want. If you have time during the day, you can have another session, then two. It's important to stick to your plans to meditate and not keep putting it off and doing other stuff instead. Be committed, be consistent, be brave, and enjoy getting to know yourself. So this brings us down to almost the end of page 2. So we've got one more page to go after this. Yeah, I do mention that. Meditation in a cup. I don't know if you've seen my little teaching on that. It's like 2-minute noodles or a cup of soup. Anytime you have time, or if you get stressed, especially, then you should meditate. Even if it's only for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 3-minute noodles meditation. Just do it, And also traffic light meditation. Don't close your eyes if you're the driver, though, okay? Because otherwise the police may think that you've fallen asleep and you won't see the light turn green. But instead of waiting for the light to turn green, impatient a lot of the time, then take the opportunity to calm your mind. Think, okay, I have a minute or 2 or 3 or whatever now to focus on my breath. Focus on your breathing, eyes open, of course. And then every time you get stopped by a traffic light, you have the opportunity then to meditate, even though it's very short. It's just a few suggestions for you, okay? So this is just suggestions, really, these 3 short paragraphs within the article. Of course, you can meditate as long as you want, as mentioned, or as short as you want, or at any time. A lot of people like to meditate in the morning. Starts the day off really well. And the evening time is a good time as well, especially before we go to sleep. Contemplate, what it is we've done through the day, and then let it go, focusing on the breath, practicing mindfulness. 4 foundations of mindfulness all at the same time. The form, the feelings, mind, and the activities of the mind. These are known as the 4 foundations of mindfulness. Satipatthana. And you can practice them all together, or you can do them individually. But ultimately, we do them all together, isn't it? The mind is always engaged. And then, of course, we have the feelings in the mind as well. And we have a physicality, of course, which is the form. And then the mind is active, even if it's focusing one-pointedly on an object, such as the breath. So that's the activity. Of course, you are distracted a lot of the time. That's mental activity. And applying the antidotes is the activity as well, okay? So generally, I think we should meditate as much as possible. So I suggest that, okay? Although not too little Because if it's too little, if we don't try hard, we're not going to improve quickly. Our progress will be slow. And we could even fall into the trap. Let's say you're doing 5-minute meditations, and then you always do these 5-minute meditations, and you don't progress further. That's a trap if you're doing too little. Then, so not too little and not too much. If it's too little, our progress will be slow. If too much, then we might burn ourselves out a bit. So if we're starting to meditate and starting to increase the time, for instance, or the particular times that we meditate, and then maybe we do it now twice a day or something like that, don't do too much so that you burn yourself out, so that you start to get a little bit tired in meditation. The body starts to get achy a lot of the time. It's like that. So do enough, but not too much. So that's like everything really is like that, Middle path, don't work too much, Don't try too hard. Don't worry, all of these things. Be kind to ourselves, Practice the middle path. So if too much, then we might burn ourselves out a bit. Remember, the Buddha's path is known as the middle path. So avoiding the extremes of too much and too little. Also avoiding believing in the extremes of eternalism and nihilism. And then following these extreme views in everything we do in life. So the Buddha's path is also known as the Eightfold Path. And this, as we practice the Eightfold Path, it helps us to maintain the middle view, maintain the belief, and also maintain the lifestyle that is the middle path. Remember, I've used examples before. Paint a picture for you. Let's say there's 2 fields, and there's a fence in the middle of these fields, or connecting these fields, actually. So this side, eternalism, this side, nihilism. Also, you could also say this side positive, this side negative. Middle path is the fence. Because if you are in the positive or eternalistic view, you can't see the other one. You can't contemplate the opposite extreme. And that's the same with the negative or the nihilistic view. Can't see the other one. Can't work out what is the middle path. But if you're standing or sitting in the middle here on this fence, known as the middle path, you can see both views. You can contemplate the both views. You can realize the faults within them. You can realize the ignorance that they are based on, and then work our way towards realizing the wisdom that uproots the ignorance. Of course, this Eightfold Path, we've gone through it many times before. It can also be known as the 3 higher trainings. The higher training in morality, the higher training in mental stabilization or development, known as meditation as well, concentration, and the higher training in wisdom or insight. When we are moral, it leads to having a mind that is ripe for meditation and to improve our concentration. With a concentration, good concentration, we can utilize our mind to realize insight or supreme wisdom. Of course, they're spoken in this order, the 3 higher trainings, but the Eightfold Path, the wisdom aspect is mentioned first. So right understanding and right intentions are mentioned first, because that is the goal, that is the purpose of the path, of the practice. So with morality, we can develop meditation, concentration. With this concentration, we can realize supreme wisdom. Of course, the right understanding is when we perceive things as they really are. That's why I mentioned earlier the 3 marks of existence before we did meditation today. And also nirvana, the 4th one, 4th seal, So you can say 3 seals and 4 seals. When you add nirvana, it's 4. Nirvana is freedom from these conditions, freedom from these other 3, liberation. So with the right understanding, you get to understand the Four Noble Truths, law of karma, and so on. With the right intentions or thoughts, you can uproot attachment and aversion. So going back to right understanding, this is the direct antidote that uproots ignorance. And then right intentions or thoughts uproots the other 2 poisons of attachment and aversion. Now, the morality part is right speech, right action, right livelihood. Number 3, 4, and 5 of the Eightfold Path. And then the right meditation is number 6, 7, and 8 of the Eightfold Path, and that is the right effort, the right mindfulness, and the right concentration. So this is how we realize the middle path. By practicing this middle path, we will realize the middle path. The Madhyamika, the middle path, middle way. That leads beyond, penetrates beyond the extremes of nihilism and eternalism, of all of the opposites. It totally transcends dualistic conceptual thinking. Okay? We should meditate at least once a day. So I really encourage you to do that. Let's say you only meditate when we do the class. I think it's not enough, okay? If you do it once a day at least, then you get the opportunity to improve, okay? Improve your concentration. Of course, when we are practicing this Eightfold Path, you are improving already. But remember that meditation is part of the Eightfold Path. So maintaining the wholesome state of mind, relinquishing the unwholesome, the right effort, and then practicing mindfulness, and also developing the concentration, part of the middle way, part of the middle path. So we should practice the meditation. And also, it's good for you. So forget about improving, forget about realizing enlightenment now. Or don't forget about it, but don't sort of think about it in the terms of here and now I want to attain enlightenment. Just put the method into practice. Trust the method, the meditation method that you have been taught. You can try other meditation techniques, of course, but stick to the one that you are familiar with as well. Make this your consistent practice. Okay? So we should meditate at least once a day. Although, may I suggest that you do a short meditation in the morning, as mentioned before, maybe 10 to 20 minutes, and then another 20-minute session in the evening. But once again, we do it for as long as we want. How are we doing for time? 5, 6 minutes. Okay, so of course you can meditate for as long as you want. If you have time during the day, you can have another session then too. And of course, sometimes you are busy doing other things. Remember what I say, you practice on the cushion and you practice off the cushion. So in your activities off the cushion, whether it's work or studies, hobbies, whatever, then you take this meditation with you. Then as you do that, it will help the practice on the cushion. And as you practice on the cushion, the formal sitting sessions, then you will help your life when you're off the cushion. They're not separate, okay? Everything, we can affect everything here and now by maintaining a wholesome state of mind, by relinquishing the unwholesomeness, by putting in this good effort and being mindful, aware, and conscientious, and developing this concentration, developing our consciousness. to be good, to be vast, to be free, eventually. It's important to stick to your plans to meditate. So, for instance, if you set aside, like you're setting aside 5 p.m. at the moment, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, you're setting aside that for a Zoom class every Saturday. You do that, you're consistent in attending, or for the people that may watch the video later, then you do that at a certain time, and you be consistent with that. You do it already. So you eat, you have food, you drink water, and so on. When you're thirsty, you eat. When you are time, okay. You eat when you are hungry. So meditate, especially if you are stressed, distracted. These are the times, so often we put it off, but these are the times when we really need it. It can really benefit us. So don't put it off. And especially as you traverse the path, as you improve. If you get to the stage, for instance, that you perceive impermanence on a more subtle level, stop everything and meditate at that time. Meditate. And you just may get a little glimpse of reality, the ultimate reality. Okay. And don't keep putting it off and doing other stuff instead. Like I've said before, it's like maybe we have an epiphany every now and then all of a sudden, out comes the briefcase again. Metaphor for you get busy again. You start with the old habits again. Have an epiphany thinking, oh, I really need to practice. I really need to lessen my attachment and aversion. I need to become more wise, compassionate. And then so often we go back into the old habits. So don't do that. Don't keep putting off the practice and doing other stuff, okay? Be committed. So the commitment is really important. Included in this commitment is self-confidence and faith in yourself, faith in the methods and the Buddha and so on. Be brave. Once again, having faith in yourself. Be consistent, as mentioned just before. And enjoy yourself, getting to know your mind. So you can take joy in the practice, even if it's hard sometimes. Remember, I say always rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Or as Tibetans say, lekso, 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 which actually translated means well done, well done, well done. So, well done. I rejoice in your meritorious goodness always and will for always. So look after your mind, practice mindfulness, awareness, conscientiousness, and help yourself to develop more compassion and loving kindness based on equanimity, and marry it with your wisdom. Practice the middle path, the noble eightfold path. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo